Hey there, quirky people! Matt Reeves' The Batman has arrived, and it is winning everyone over. Robert Pattinson proves to be a great casting choice in almost all aspects of portraying the Caped Crusader. The Batman wasn't just a movie. It was a personal love letter that Matt Reeves wrote to all the Batman fans. A 3-hour-long experience that every hardcore Batman fan should have in their lives. We followed Batman doing some real detective work. It was realistic, brutal, and packed some great acting by an exceptional cast. And all the Rogues Gallery members were absolutely spot on. Oz and the Riddler were excellent, but they still have a lot more to offer. Carmine Falcone turned out to be a worthy addition. And we got several Easter eggs pointing towards Batman villains like Hush and the Court of Owls. But who is going to be the big bad villain of the Batman 2? Which other antagonists are we going to see in the sequel? Well, we are going to talk about a few possibilities, but we'll also be talking spoilers, so I'd like to warn you about that. Okay, I'm assuming that you've left this video by now if you haven't seen the movie yet. So first up, we have the Penguin.
I got you! I got you!
Colin Farrell was unrecognizable under all the makeup and prosthetics, but he was just brilliant. By the end of the film, Selena Kyle said that with Falcone gone, someone else will come into power. And we know that Colin Farrell will be starring in his own show as Oswald Cobblepot. So far, he was just the right-hand man of Falcone. But now, he could take his seat at the high table. He could become the Godfather, the big boss of organized crime in Gotham as it gets rebuilt. And that's when we'd see him as the true Penguin. All this should happen in his own show, which should lead us directly into the Batman 2 where he would appear alongside Joker and the Riddler.
Police! Hands up!
Barry Keoghan was cast as a prison inmate next to the Riddler. His role was kept under wraps, but now we all know that he is the next Joker we're supposed to look forward to. The film ended with the promise of the Joker and the Riddler teaming up, and that would bring the premise of No Man's Land story from the comics, which has been rumored so far for the Batman 2. The Joker hinted at a comeback story where he and the Riddler would break out of prison and bring turmoil in Batman's life once again. It would be interesting to see how these two would connect with the Penguin too. And it is also possible that their union may be built up throughout the Batman 2. And we might only see it in the final part of the trilogy. Although, their cameos could also bring in Hugo Strange. If we visit the Arkham Asylum, then Hugo Strange could definitely come into play. He may not be the main villain, but we'd love to see him show up. Maybe projects like Gotham PD and perhaps even the Penguin spin-off on HBO Max could introduce Hugo Strange. And then, he could return in the Batman 2. And keeping all these villains aside, we really want to see Talon and the Court of Owls.
Run.
Gotham is in a state of rebuilding right now. And as I've mentioned, all the power that Falcone held is now up for grabs. But right from the moment we saw the first trailer of the Batman, people had been theorizing that the Court of Owls would be revealed as the real villains. That did not happen, as the Riddler and Falcone turned out to be the main focus. But what if the corruption has not been uprooted from Gotham? What if Falcone was working for another secret organization, that is, the Court of Owls? Batman could come across how they have been the real villains running Gotham for decades. That would make for another cool detective story. The Batman showed us a very brutal Batman. Yes, he got injured multiple times, but there was no one to physically best him in the film. And that's what we should get in the sequel. So when the Court of Owls reveals themselves, they could send their enforcer after Batman. They could unleash Talon, who could prove to be a physical match for Batman, like Deathstroke would have been in Batfleck's movie. We've never seen the Court of Owls be explored in live action, so it would be a very good idea to bring them out. But if you don't like this one and want to stick with the Joker-Riddler team-up for the sequel, then I've got another fascinating idea. Just like the Joker was teased in Part 1, Part 2 should end with teasing an original villain. As Batman fans, we would all like to see bad guys like Bane, Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, Mad Hatter, Scarecrow, or some other familiar Batman villain show up in The Batman 3. But we have seen several interpretations of all Batman villains over the years across TV shows, animated films, Batman games, and the live-action movies. It's actually time for us to see a new Batman villain show up. Matt Reeves has proven that he can deliver an amazing take of the Batman. But I believe that he is actually good enough to come up with an original character for his final Batman movie. And this original villain could be mysteriously teased in the Batman 2, just like the Joker has been. Okay, that's all from us. How did you find the Batman? Who do you want to see as the villains in the sequel? Let us know in the comments. Give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so we can continue coming up with such content. And don't forget to check out some more fun content on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!